Yo, James D. Buzzard, and today I want to try doing a video in a completely different format than I normally do. Today we're going to be doing a digital whiteboard session, so we're going to kind of draw things out on the iPad. My goal is to hopefully show you guys a visual kind of representation of how I've been able to grow enough clients in order to maintain a steady income, and that was going from absolutely nothing. Now, if you guys don't know, a couple years ago, I randomly went into my job and just quit right on the spot. Now, I highly would not advise that to any of you guys out there, but how did I go from literally no job to actually having a sustainable income? And that was actually with a client marketing process that is 100% free. So it doesn't matter if you guys are freelancers, already in business, you guys are solopreneurs, you guys are entrepreneurs. This works for anybody selling a service. What is a client marketing process? A client marketing process is when your clients do most of your marketing for you. It's when you guys provide an awesome service with a ton of value and you guys build a ton of trust with your clients in order for them to actually go out and talk about you to all their friends, talk about you with all their business owner buddies so that you guys can get more work, more potential leads, and you guys aren't having to do any of the footwork. You guys aren't really needing to post to Instagram. You guys aren't needing to post to Facebook. You guys aren't needing to create too much content for yourselves because your guys' clientele are now doing all of that legwork for you because you guys are providing a ton of value in a great service with a great experience, and you guys have built that trust with that business. Now, once you guys actually can build a client marketing process like this, which a lot of people may call word of mouth, but I think of it a lot more scientifically, if you will, than just word of mouth. I like to think of this as an actual process that you guys need to develop with a standard operating procedure for each of your services, with checkboxes that each one of your clients go through in order to build that trust and build the value within each of those services so that when you guys turn over that deliverable, you guys have built an awesome relationship that you guys can go ahead and repeat with their friends, their business owners, people within their circle. Now, getting back to the beginning of this, there are a ton of distractions in business, whether that is Facebook, Clubhouse, Twitter, TikTok. The list goes on, guys. There are a ton of different distractions out there, even beyond just social media. So instead of focusing on things like social media, we need to really be focusing on our services. And within those services, we really need to be focusing on building trust. Not only building trust, but we also want our clients to have a great experience along the way. Chicken scratch this up. And throughout all of this, throughout this whole service process, we want them to end up with a product of value, something that they can use for their business over and over in order to produce more value for their business. And you guys are going to be able to do this by creating a standard operating procedure in order to ensure that you guys are always building trust, having a great client experience with a solid process, and throughout that process, you guys are creating value for your client. That should be your guys' main number one goal, should be the back end of your business, the service that you guys are providing and building trust, having a great client experience, and providing value at the end of that process. So to give you guys a real world example of how this worked for me, When I very first got started, I had absolutely no clients. So I needed to create a process for how I can get new clients and how I can get new paid clients. So my strategy for this was to actually go into small businesses and see exactly how I could provide video and photo services and what problems I could actually solve with photo and video. Now, at first, I was really only thinking inside the box, and I was doing things like event photography, event video, but I really wasn't using my video skill set in order to solve problems for these businesses. But once I was able to start solving problems for businesses, and that for this client was getting more clients in the door. So, how did I get more clients in the door? I did a free video for them. And this client, we'll call her Maggie. I walked into her place of business and I did a free service, and that was just photos. And the whole point of this free service was to provide a service of value, build some trust, and it only took me about 15 minutes of my time. Now, from working with Maggie through that one time, I was actually able to land a relatively big event with Maggie. So, from doing that first free gig with Maggie, we eventually got to the point where we were actually doing a paid event. So, through that paid event, through doing that paid event, we were actually able to go through this whole process again of me providing a service, providing an experience, and hopefully at the end of it, providing value to her and her clientele. And by doing this event, I was able to capture a ton of photos, and they were absolutely blown away with the photos. This took a lot of work off of Maggie and the other owner's plate. This allowed them to have fun at their event. They could work more with their clients and all of that, and they didn't have to worry about capturing the event themselves or taking cell phone photos. They had a little bit better quality, as well as taking that off of their plate, so that now all they need to do is take these photos that I created for them and post them online throughout the next month or so, and they can use it as part of their marketing strategy. So that is one way that I was able to provide value to them. Now, through doing this, now Maggie, let's put some hair on Maggie. So, from doing this service with Maggie, she was very happy with my work. So we'll do a little smiley face on her. So Maggie was super happy with my work. Through doing work with Maggie, now at the event, not only at her event did I meet a couple new potential clients, and since I was at Maggie's event, they already established some level of credibility with my skill set and with my services. So this automatically puts a little smile on their face and gets me one step closer to getting in their door. But not only that, now we have direct credibility coming from Maggie after doing this event, and now she's actually directly telling other people about our services. So now not only do we have people out seeing us, that's what I would call credibility. Now, credit versus credibility, what's the difference? Credit versus, let's erase this real quick. And let's see if we can get a little new section going on this page real quick. And we'll come back to Maggie here in a second. So, credit versus credibility. What's the difference between credit and credibility? So first, let's talk about credibility. And these are just my own kind of definitions for me personally for how I think of credibility versus credit. Credibility is what you give yourself. It's when you post your portfolio online. It's when you post to your Instagram, you post to your Facebook, you get a ton of likes. That is displaying credibility. And credibility is something that you give yourself. You can write blog posts, you guys can create YouTube videos. These are all important ways to create credibility. And credibility is very important in order to establish trust, especially with people who have never heard of your products or services, or people who have never met anybody that's used your products or services. Now, let's talk about credit. So, credibility is you. Credibility is what you give yourself. Now, credit is what others give to you. Now, credit is much more powerful than credibility. Anybody can give themselves credibility. We can all go out there, for me personally, we can all go out there, snap a ton of photos, and we can get more credibility by posting through Instagram, posting through Facebook, creating a bigger and better portfolio. But if you guys don't have the credit to back up that credibility, then you're honestly creating a whole bunch of credibility for no reason. So you guys actually want to create credit, and credit is when others are giving you credibility. So think of credit as when somebody else gives you a testimonial. Credit is when somebody gives you a review of your products and services. They've gone through that process with you, and now they are the ones talking about your products and services. So to me, that is the difference between credibility and credit. So definitely you want to be building credibility within your business, but you, at the same time, you guys also want to be building credit. Credit is what gets you guys paid, and you can only get credit by building relationships. So now that you guys have a basic understanding of credibility versus credit, let's come back up to our example with Maggie. With Maggie, we first had that first initial free service, and that was just a small photo package. It only took us 15 minutes to shoot, and it landed us that paid gig. So now we are actually getting paid. And through getting this new gig, we are actually yet again able to establish more credibility. But through doing that past gig, we also established a little bit of credit. And that credit was in the form of getting hired for our next event. Now, at the event, we were able to display some of that credibility that we just got with Maggie at our last gig, shooting some of her products. We were able to display that to other vendors at this event and tell them about our services. And we already had credibility, and we also had credit with Maggie. Maggie can now talk to these vendors at her event and say, yeah, this is a great photographer to work with. These are the photos that he provided us, and this is how we are using them. And that was an awesome way for me to establish right at the get-go credit within my business. And that was by, just doing that free service. So now at the event, not only am I getting credit, I'm also giving out credibility to these new potential clients. So now after this event, we now deliver more photos. And what does that give us? More credibility. We can now put that on our portfolio. We can display those on our Instagram, on our Facebook, wherever we want to display those and give ourselves that credibility. We can do that. We can write a blog post about it. Whatever you guys want to do in order to display that credibility, you guys can do it. But after that event, now Maggie is yet again showing people that deliverable that we just did. Not only is she showing people the deliverable, she's also telling people about the experience. She's talking about how quick we were. With the delivery of the final photo set. She's talking about how easy I was to work with. She's talking about our pricing. She's talking about everything that goes on with that service. Now she is out there giving us credit for the work that we did. So now she talked to John. She talked to Peter. She talked to Paul. And she talked to Simon. So now, after talking to all these other business people that she is friends with, we were able to land a couple more clients. So, as you guys can tell, out of gaining this one free client right here, who was Maggie, who we did some free work for. Keep in mind, guys, that this all started from a free service. In order to establish some level of trust, to displays what kind of experience they might have with our business, and to give them some amount of value without them even spending a dime. So that was an awesome way to get credit right from the get-go. And through getting credit, we also got more clients. So now, if you can repeat this same process that you guys just did right here with Maggie, if you guys can go into 10 more businesses, let's just say you guys go into, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you need one more circle, 10 businesses. Let's say you can get 2 of these businesses to now repeat this process, and you guys can do this exact same thing with them. This is eventually just going to start growing exponentially, and you guys are going to have a ton of new clients. All these clients are going to be talking about you behind your back. They're going to be telling people how good of a service you did and everything. But again, guys, it all comes back to focusing on the back end of your business. You need to focus on services that build trust, have an awesome experience, and give value to your clients. And you always need to be going above and beyond in order to make this happen, and in order to make this client marketing process work for you guys and for your business. So remember, guys, in business, there are a ton of distractions, but focus on what matters, and that is what you guys are delivering. And you guys want to be delivering a service that builds trust, has an awesome experience, and gives a ton of value. So, and if you guys can do this and you guys can repeat this, you guys will be well on your way to having an extremely successful business with zero paid marketing, and without having to really focus at all on all these places that it can be a massive distraction, like social media, all these different places, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this format of video, this is completely different than what I normally do. I'm definitely hoping to improve on this format in the future. Hopefully it won't be so scattered over the page and everything. We can, I did have this semi planned out, but yeah, I jumped all around. So anyways, guys, I really hope that this episode this week helps you guys out. It brings some value to your guys' business, helps you guys kind of rethink about what's important with your business in order to really start bringing more value to your clientele. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, please let me know down below. If this video helped you in any way, drop a comment, let me know. And yeah, definitely hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh, shit, I forgot to hit record. Just kidding.